is, yes, thank you, sir. The next is from the Vice Chancellor Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka. All right, let's put our hands together for him. Don't be tired, we're almost done. Please put our hands together for him. Next, we have the VC of OAE Obafemi Awolowo University, Ife. Please let's put our hands together for him. All right, sir. Yes, sir. Then we have the VC of University of Calabar. University of Calabar. Okay, she's coming. Please let's put our hands together for her. And after that, the VC of University of Benin. No, this is Calabar, sir. University of Benin. Is University of Benin here? Okay, maybe not. Yeah, the Vice Chancellor, University of Port Harcourt. Yes, one of the reviewers of the book. Please let's put our hands together for him. I don't know if he has left. The VC of, okay, he's here. Please let's put our hands together for him, one of the reviewers of the book. The Vice Chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Is he here? Please let's put our hands together for him. He's coming. He's coming. ABU. Another reviewer of the book, the Vice Chancellor of Bayero University, Kano. Please let's put our hands together for him. The next is the Vice Chancellor of Umaru Musa Yar'Adua University, Katsina. Please let's put our hands together for him. And then we'll have Vice Chancellor of Borno State University, Maiduguri. Yes, sir. Vice Chancellor of Borno State University, Maiduguri. Okay. Please let's put our hands together for him. Okay. Borno State. The Vice Chancellor of my boss's alma mater, ATBU, 𝒓𝒂𝒕𝒉𝒆𝒓 University. We were told that the DBC is here. Okay, welcome, sir. Yes, sir. Please put your hands together. The institution that produced my boss. All right. The Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Minna. Okay, please let's put our hands together for him. Yeah. And he's the VC designate, as I'm, yes? Yes, yes. And then we'll have the Vice Chancellor of University of Ilorin, Kwara State. Please let's put our hands together for him as he comes forward. Next is University, the VC of University of Abuja. Yes, Ilorin. The VC of University of Abuja. No, first Ilorin. Ilorin first, yes. Then Abuja is next, yes. Abuja, sir. The next is the Vice Chancellor of Gombe State University. Gombe State University. Gombe State University. Okay, maybe not here. Okay, it's coming. Please let's put our hands together for him. I was surprised too that Gombe State University was not here. That's why I'm saying that it will have been an aberration. All right. The Vice Chancellor, University of Lagos, UNILAG. Please let's put our hands together for her. So this is one of her first events since taking over as VC. Let's put our hands together for her. One of the first events. Thank you very much, sir. Just one more, sir. We're just the E-parts, and then we're done.
For the market, just leave it.
Yeah, the market will do that later. All right. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. So we're having the symbolic distribution of the E-parts, like the Honorable Minister talked about. Some will be distributed later, but this is symbolic. We're calling on the representatives of Osun State College of Technology, 𝒓𝒂𝒕. Osun State. Is the rep here? Please, let's put our hands together for him. Yes, we have 6,000 of these E-parts. I think that's a very convenient place for you to clap. Then we have Federal University 𝒓𝒂𝒕 Gombe State. Are you here? Federal University 𝒓𝒂𝒕. Anybody here? Okay, thank you very much. Please let's put our hands together for you. Then we have the School of Management Studies, Nuhu Babali Polytechnic Zaria, Kaduna State. Do we have the rep here? The rep, is any rep here? Okay, no. Then we have yeah, please let's put our hands together for him as he comes forward. Please let's make it snappy. Then we have Federal Polytechnic Oko, Anambra State. Federal Polytechnic Oko, Anambra State. Any rep here? Anybody? No, but, sorry? You are Oko. What of Anambra? Okay, that's fine. Sorry. Then we have National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development, FCT Abuja. National Institute for NIPR. Anybody from there? Please let's put our hands together for him. And last but not the least, we have 100 per institution being distributed. All right, Zamfara State Government. So in addition to the institutions, we give some state governments as well. Is Zamfara State Government represented here? Please let's put our hands together for him as he quickly comes to take the last symbolic E-part. There you go, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Distinguished guests, at this point, we would like to call some of the beneficiaries of the initiatives to give the vote of thanks. We'll start with the Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Owerri. Okay, Madam will do the vote of thanks on behalf of all the beneficiaries.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, CEOs here present, my colleagues, fellow Vice Chancellors, distinguished guests, what a day, what an honor. I almost didn't make it, but I fought all the contrary winds and said I must be here. Because I'm sure you all know I am the most important person here. Because the Honorable Minister is my staff. And so I must start on behalf of the Governing Council of FUTO, our Senate, congregation, staff and students, and indeed On the behalf of all the recipient vice chancellors here present, who are recipients of this great gesture, and even on behalf of those who didn't get it in phase 1. When I received the notification that free internet service was going to be available to my university, I was excited. I was overjoyed. But that is nothing compared to the pride that ran through me when the honorable minister said the sacrifices they made, willingly letting go of their 20%, that by law belongs to them, to make sure that he matches his words with his actions of a digital Nigeria, of a digital university system. Yes, I didn't recognize you. Sorry, sir. No, I have to. I thought he had gone. And on behalf of the NUC, we say thank you. And thank you. And thank you. Your labor of love will never be in vain. And I want to tell you, even for that book, it will become a classic. Years from now, generations yet unborn will be inspired and changed and will be beneficiaries of this great work. And so, for changing and digitalizing our universities, may the good Lord continue to bless you. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much. At this point, I would call on my boss, the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, Professor Umar Garba Dambata, to give the closing remarks. Please put your hands together for him. It's not loud though, please, louder, louder, louder. Thank you very much.
Okay. The Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, our Supervising Minister, alias Hurricane Pantamia. That's a long story. The Honorable Minister of the FCT, I think he has left. This is an intimidating audience. And therefore, I would like, with the permission of the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, to observe the protocol that has been so well established by previous speakers, and to also wish you good afternoon. When I said we have another name for our Honorable Minister, it should not come as a surprise. We were at the Plenipotentiary Conference in Bucharest, Romania. Nigeria is aspiring to retain her seat on Council of the International Telecommunications Union. And the whole of Africa is fighting to retain the Directorate of Telecommunications Development, which, according to tradition, and convention, is supposed to go to Africa. We were in danger of losing that very, very important seat, on council, not the Nigeria seat, but the director BDT, Bureau for Telecoms Development, I think is a principal officer of the ITU. So we were really in danger of losing that seat. Things came to a head during the elections. Okay, there was the first round. Africa was, represented, or we had candidates aspiring to the same position, about 3-4 of them. The minister did all the hard work to convince some of the African candidates to step down. There was a second round, And there were still 2 Africans and 1 candidate from the Bahamas. By the way, I was in Bahamas. You know, it's a land, you know, virtually owned by the United States government. So the representative from Bahamas is a lackey of the US government. We were very, very lucky. And they wanted to postpone the elections that day, you know, to the next day, to Monday. And we had 3 days, or 2 days rather, of intense lobby from the highest authority, global highest authority, including, please don't quote me, you know, the US government. So the minister stood his ground and prevailed on the ITU, the chairman of that session of the Plenipotentiary Conference, to let us have the elections that day. Let's conclude it that day. Okay, so there were arguments for and against. Our minister stood his ground. All of us were busy praying for the minister. You know, we were urging him on, encouraging him to, okay? And so there was a sad and unprecedented round. I think the ITU has never seen anything like that. And you won't believe it. That African from Zimbabwe emerged as the director of BDT, thanks to Hurricane Pantamia. That was I gave him that, you know, rare nickname, and I had his permission to relate this story to you. In the same way, in Kano, we have the Konkosia, the Gandujia. You know, Kano is full of such coinages, you know. So we have our own. And when the results were announced, you could see the way we all stood up and celebrated with our Zimbabwean counterpart. And I think Mr. 𝒓𝒂𝒕𝒉𝒆𝒓, Cosmos 𝒓𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒉𝒆𝒓, the name of the candidate from Zimbabwe, promised to pay a special thank you visit to Nigeria, to the person and office of the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy. And so it came as no surprise to us when the minister is breaking new grounds, you know, bringing up cutting-edge innovations. You know, we're all not really surprised. Okay, we can only wish him, you know, the best of luck in his future endeavors. Many more such efforts are welcome. The space is very, very wide for such innovative ideas as he has. And we will keep praying for him to keep producing these documents that will drive the innovation that is necessary, that will spark the digital transformation journey that we're in. Now, a little bit of the interventions you got. Way back in 2016, MTN committed a regulatory breach. It was all over the papers. 520,000 unregistered SIM cards were found on their network. We urge them to pull this down, all these numbers down. They were concerned about the revenue they were making then. We stood our ground. I'm talking about now the NCC. When I say we here, I mean the NCC. So we stood our ground. We said, you either pull these unregistered SIMs down from your network, or we're going to invoke the fine. And the fine is 200,000 naira per registered SIM. The total came to 1.04 trillion naira at the time. We were in the books, in the Guinness Book of Records. There was never a fine like that in the global telecommunications industry in the world. The government of our President Muhammadu Buhari GCFR was very, very magnanimous. You know, after going back and forth, cut the fine to 330 billion naira. All this money was paid except the last tranche, which was paid in March 2019. And the NCC had this great idea to provide broadband interventions, you know, to the diverse sectors of the economy in order, you know, to move the sectors consistent with global best practices. That idea or that important initiative did not really materialize until the emergence of Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami. So let's celebrate this man, let's applaud him, and let us all appreciate him. It was through his singular effort that the money was returned to us. It was mopped up from our TSA account. Later on, he made a very strong and convincing case, and the money was returned to the NCC. And this money is what is being used to intervene in the various sectors of the educational sector of our economy. This is our single biggest, most important, ambitious intervention to date. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Do I need to say more? Not after the Minister has spoken. Not after the EAS of NUC has spoken, who incidentally was my Vice Chancellor. Okay, so I stand the risk of being charged for contempt. Especially I'm still looking, forward to going back. And the current Vice Chancellor took over from him. So there is a link between the two. So I need to be very, very careful. I hope when I go back, yes, you will prevail on the sitting Vice Chancellor to prepare my office, please. So that I will have somewhere to be going, Thank you very much. We appreciate all of you. The NCC is committed to implementing the various projects, the various policies of government as regards broadband infrastructure deployment in a manner that is ubiquitous. And in addition, we promise to make available items of ICT equipment that will allow access to these broadband services we're talking about. Because we strongly feel that access and connectivity have indeed emerged as foundations for growth, future growth, and the future is here, as well as foundations for social and economic transformation of societies, including our own society. So this is a commitment I'm making on behalf of the chairman of the board of the Nigerian Communications Commission, as well as management. We appreciate you all and thank you very much for honoring our invitations to come. And we hope you will put to good use the various interventions, intervention items, provided for you. Like the minister said, the honorable minister said, we are braced and poised even to do more. Of course, the ball is entirely in the court of the honorable minister, where we have great ideas on how we can continue this very, very important, intervention we are making in the educational sector of the economy and perhaps in even other sectors of the economy. So I would like to appreciate you very much. On this note, I don't want to talk too much. I've already taken my 5 minutes. Please let us applaud our honorable minister.